Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about how to compose an email in Gmail. Just like in Google Drive where we would add any files to our Google Drive, in the top left corner we'll see this compose button here and we're going to press that. Once we hit compose, depending on the size of your screen or if you have it zoomed in at all, you're going to get this little box here. I'm going to press this two-sided arrow and it's going to pop out and make my window a little bigger so everybody can see it. The first line I have here is who I'm going to address it to. So a couple things about this. Our TSC address book is already added into Gmail. So I can start typing anyone's name and I'll see their names pop up. The other thing I want you to notice is if they already have a picture in Google+, then they'll also have a picture in Gmail. So I can click on Devin's name. If I wanted to add a group, I can add that as well. And so you'll see that it's very similar to what you were doing in Outlook anyway. Get rid of these, and I'll send an email just to Jenny. After that, on the right hand side here, I have also CC and BCC. If I'd like to add those, I can just click and I can add CC and blind carbon copy. Next we have the subject. And the body. So now in my composing window, there's a few things that I'd like to show you. Down at the bottom here are all your text tools. So I can change the font of my text. I can change the size of my text. I can make it bold, italic, underline. I can change the color, and you'll notice that I can change the background color and the text color. I can change the alignment of the text and add in bullet points or numbers, indenting. This is called a block quote. So I'm going to write an email to Jenny and then I'll show you how I'll use that block quote. This last one here is remove formatting. Let's say, for instance, I want to copy and paste some text and I'd like for it to look the way the rest of my email looks. It will remove any old formatting, so if it was bold, it will make it regular. If it was really big text, it'll make it smaller. It'll change the color back to the normal text that you had. So now that I have my email set up for Jenny, I would like to pull out these questions so that she can see them. So I'm going to highlight each of the questions and I'm going to click this quote. And so what you'll notice here is that it indents it, puts a little line here. And now she can see, here's my questions that I'd like to ask her. I can also add a few spaces here and really emphasize these questions. If I'd like to change any of the fonts or the color or anything like that, I just highlight the text. I can play around with some of these features. You'll notice at the bottom here that I have an email signature. There is a video in our series for adding an email signature in Gmail, so go ahead and watch that as well. The last few things that I'd like to show you are all of these buttons at the bottom here. So I can attach files. If I've got a file out on my computer somewhere on my H drive, I can attach that file similarly to what I would do in Outlook. Nothing really different there. What the really nice thing is about Gmail is that I can also insert files from my Google Drive. I don't have to go open Google Drive and find my file and get a shareable link. Instead, I'm just going to say insert files using Drive, and then it's going to bring up my entire Google Drive and I can choose the file. So let's say I wanted to add this spreadsheet into my email. So what you'll notice here is I clicked on the spreadsheet and then it said Drive link. So this is the same idea as getting a shareable link in your Google Drive. So I'm going to click Insert and it's added this link to my Google Drive file, iStep out of lab schedule. The other things I can add a photo, picture. And again, when I add my photos, it's going to bring up any pictures that I have available in my drive. I can insert a link, maybe a link to a website. Test this link is just going to pop out another window and show me that my link goes where I want it to go. And I'll say, okay. I can also add little emoticons if I'd like to. Just a couple fun things to add to my email. And then once I'm ready, notice at the bottom here, it continues to save it. So if I were to get out of this, actually exit out of there, it's going to save it in my drafts, which I can always pull up later. I can get rid of this, I can discard it. And then a few other options that I have are canned responses. And again, we have a video about canned responses, so go ahead and watch that. I can add a label, and these would be the same things as like folders in Outlook. Instead of a folder, I would have a label, and then it would file that email into that folder or that label. I can print it, and then I can check my spelling. And then the last thing I want to do down at the bottom here is I'm going to send this email to Jenny. Notice that since I had a Drive file in there and I hadn't shared it with Jenny yet, it's going to let me know, hey, you haven't shared this with Jenny. How do you want to share it with her? And so I'm just going to say she can view it, or I can change this. I can also say more options, which it's going to say recipients of this email can view. So that means only Jenny can view. So I'm going to keep it at that. I can also send without sharing. So the reason maybe I would send without sharing, if you've ever had to request access to a file, that would be the same idea as send without sharing. I've sent something to you and you need to actually click on the link to request access to that file. The benefit of doing that is you know then who has clicked on the link, and you also are not sharing it with people that don't want it. So just some things to think about. I'm going to say share and send, and my email has been sent. What you'll also notice is at the top here, I do have an undo button. So there is a little window of time that I can use to undo my sending. So sending has been undone, I forgot to put something, or I actually didn't want to send it. I can just undo that and then I'm done. Since I just closed out of that, I'm going to show you over here that it has gone into my drafts. So I still have it there in my drafts, and I can change it if I'd like to, or I can completely trash it and get rid of it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Continue to watch our series. We've got a lot of great tips for you in Gmail.